Well, here we go then. Welcome back to ESA Cup Season 6, back in the bunker. I'm Pasta, joined by Starcoin Hero, and we're here for round 2 of the Swiss stage. We already had 3 games yesterday. So just to run you through what those results were in the 1-0 side, the high side of the bracket, Minions beat Tracker 7-4, MDF beat Pulse 7-1, and Team Misclick beat Cook 7-5. So that's all the setup. But now heading into our first game, Tucker, Penta versus MVG.
What'd you just call me?
Your name.
How did you know that?
Listen, I just have magic powers. Like we already discussed before the cast, I can teleport. Right? It's just another one of my magical powers.
Oh, okay. That kind of freaked me out. Anyway, first match of the day, Penta Esports versus Molotov Gang. It'll be a best of 1, and we are going to none other than Villa. It's a little bit refreshing. Last time I was here, we got 2 clubhouse back-to-back, so now we're seeing a bit of different maps. I personally love casting Villa, but playing on it is horrendous for me. I get on Villa, and I forget how to use the WASD keys. But I'm sure these players are a little bit better at Siege than me, so I bet we're in for a pretty solid game. But I feel like there might be a little bit of a mismatch between the two teams, especially come like last round. There was a bit of a seeding issue, but now we're in Swiss stage. Both of these teams are 1-1, and that's all we need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't lost a game yet inside of the Swiss stage. So if we just take a look at the Penta roster, we can have a look at their statistics from the season so far. This is just ESA, by the way. This doesn't involve other competitions on console, such as like RSX, which is a lot of the similar stuff here. But you can see the roster over on the right there, and Penta, despite they actually didn't top their group, because they had a forfeit, that isn't counted in the win rate, which is why there's that slight discrepancy. They did lose a game, but that was a forfeit loss, so we're not counting that for the win rate. Because, who knows how that game could have gone, and every other game so far they've won, and they've looked pretty comfortable while doing it.
They really have. And talking about MVG, they actually have, I would say, a little bit of an advantage saying that their best map is Villa. Their worst map is actually Oregon. So if this was Oregon, this should be just pretty much a pub stomp for Penta. But hey, that's not where we're going. We're on Villa. MVG's best map is Villa. However, they only have a 60% win rate rather than Penta's 100%. And now, of course, we could talk about the percentages all day and say, oh, this team has a 5% higher win rate. They're going to win. But let's be real, there is a chance for both of these teams, especially the advantage that they have on the map. Of course, Penta's been one of the best teams in ESA Cup for I don't even know how long. I think it's been at least this season. If that forfeit did not happen, they would have had an easy top seed going into it. But that's not how the cards fell, so they have to deal with where they are. I think they're dealing pretty good so far. They're 1-0, like we said, winning it on Oregon against Legacy 7-5. So close matches from Penta, but also won last round from Molotov Gang. They won on Clubhouse 8-6 against Empire.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing to point out as well is the fact that Penta actually haven't played Villa yet this season. So we're going into a bit of unfamiliar territory here, Tucker. Thinking of that then, the fact that we don't actually know how Penta are going to do on this map. I'm not entirely sure of how well they play Villa in terms of other leagues, but there is a little bit of there's a little bit of history between these two teams. I just want to point out. Thank you to Konski for bringing this to our attention, by the way. MVG and Penta, this MVG Germany team and Penta have only played once before in a competitive game, and it was the upper bracket first round of the previous season. Now, it's a little bit of a different situation. Penta definitely looked a lot more shaky last season than they did here, but that was a game that MVG won 2-0. The maps were Oregon and Villa as well. So MVG is their best map, and they have history against Penta on this map.
That they do, and that definitely adds a bit of confidence to them, but this is a new season of ESA Cup. This is a
Yeah,
new Penta esports team. So I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit different. Just looking at the past through this season, how perfect Penta has been and how MVG has been good, but I don't think they've been playing at the level Penta has been. I
yeah,
gotta say Penta's taking it, despite MVG having Villa as their best map and Penta going out and adventuring on unadventured territories, I should say.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say that Penta's gonna take this, despite all of the disadvantages that they have. I just feel like Penta has been a little bit better throughout the season.
Yeah, Penta look like a very different team. They look like they're on a bit of a different level this season, that's for sure. And actually, I don't know if we're able to get it up on stream, but I kind of want to see what the community predicted in terms of the result of this game. And let's just see. They actually agree. 71% of people thought that it would be Penta taking this game. Only 29% for MVG here, Tucker. So that's a pretty significant margin of people. Maybe it might not be as close as we think, or maybe Penta, they are a bit of a bigger org. If you look back way in the past, you've got an org that's had world champions playing for them. They're definitely more popular, and these community votes can sometimes be a bit of a popularity contest. However, we also favor Penta here in the studio. So while it is a popularity contest, Penta are still a very, very good team, and yeah, I think they might edge it out. However, this is gonna be close. If it isn't, I will be rather annoyed.
A lot of pressure on the back now of MVG because they got the casters predicting against them, they got the chat predicting against them, but I
Yeah,
got a feeling that's only gonna fire them up more. We
pressure's
are
off as
there's
well.
a hmm?
They're the underdogs.
Oh,
Expectations are
absolutely.
low. There's a lot of space when you don't have the expectation, you don't have the pressure to actually achieve some great things. So we might yet see an MVG victory here.
Yeah, it's very possible. I'm not counting them out at all, as they are the underdogs, which means they have less to lose. Penta's coming in with a big chip on their shoulder, and that chip can easily fall off. MVG might just be able to sneak away a win because they don't really have nothing to lose. They have the pressure of everyone predicting against them, but it's going to
Yeah,
be up to them whether they let that break them or let that make them. Because either way, it's going to be a good match. And I feel like either one of them has a good chance to do it because pressure makes or breaks a lot of teams. It's just
yeah,
about how the players are, how the coaches are, even what map it's on. If you're on an unfamiliar map, then you're going to have a hard time because not only do you have the pressure of the predictions and all of that jazz going against you, but you also have the unfamiliar territory, but not
yeah.
Molotov. Molotov has their map in their bag. Villa has been the best map of the season for them. So I think that's going to make it easier. But despite all of the harping I have done for Molotov Gang, I still think Pinta's going to take it. But Molotov's absolutely putting up a fight this match.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, this should be a close affair between these two teams, as there's a little things happening behind the scenes, but we'll do our best to keep you updated on when the game does start and everything like that. Um, I kind of want to just have a look actually on what we're expecting from Villa overall. And if you give me a second, we've already seen Villa actually a couple times in the Swiss stage. Um, and yeah, like you would expect, honestly, favors the defense. If I look overall the whole season so far, um, website's glitching. Here we go. 67 rounds played, 40 of those, so about 60% have been won by the defenders. So looking towards those standard 4-2 sort of splits for the defense, like we're used to seeing a lot of the time.
Yeah, they have almost a 60% win rate on Villa over the season. That's like you said, it's 40-27 in terms of defense to
Yeah.
attack. For if you want to get technical, it's 59.7 to 40.3. But if you want to round up, that's about 60 to 40. But it's not like it is completely one-sided. It's not like we're going to see a 5-1 unless one of these teams just comes out and shows out, and absolutely stomps the other team out of the water. We're probably going to see a 4-2, whichever team's starting on defense,
Yeah.
which I'm not sure if we know that yet. Do we know?
We should do. Hold on. Let me get on that real quick. Starting on defense is going to be Penta actually. So
That's
But then if we
that's a
do go
little
to
unfortunate for
overtime,
MVG.
if we go to overtime, though, MVG are the ones that start on the defense. So that could possibly be an advantage actually in their favor. In their favor, even.
It could definitely be an advantage, but that is if MVG are able to push Penta off until overtime. Penta starting on defense, they're already our pick to win. They're already Chat's pick to win, and they have the better side first. They
Yeah.
are likely going to get off to a hot start, probably 4-2. Would not surprise me if there is a 5-1. However, I don't know if MVG is going to allow that on their best map. If it does happen, it's going to be a monumental mishap for them. If not, it's about expected. Maybe MVG is able to push a 3-3. If they do it, push a 3-3, it would not surprise me if we go into overtime. But I got a feeling if it's 4-2 for Penta at the half, I don't think we're seeing OT. I think Penta will be able to push it out. And if there's 5-1 or 6-0, I think that's just GG's right then and there.
Yeah, I'm currently doing some quick maths just to try and find the this is all right now live mathematics from me. Penta have about a 79% defensive win rate, and I'm currently working out MVG. So just give me a oh, actually I didn't check Swiss as well. That would be smart. There's another thing for this. Okay, so 22 out of 30 times 100 is 73%. There we go. So there's Penta's win rate for this defensive side. That's pretty good. That's above like the average on Villa for the season. Obviously, that isn't on Villa. They haven't played it, but overall, very, very strong defensive team. And MVG as well, just gonna have to hold on.
I heard you say 70. Was it 79 or 75% for Penta?
73%, whereas MVG only have I only have a 69% win rate. So
Gotcha.
If you want to get into the decimal places, it's 73.33 for Penta and 68.75 for MVG. But yeah, about 73 to 69% on the defensive win rate. I haven't looked at the attack, but looking at those numbers, again, defender-sided map, Penta are very, very strong on that side. And one thing I've noticed is I think Penta have started on defense every single game they've played. MVG have started on defense on every single game they've played, apart from one. So there's that as well. Penta, they're used to starting on this defensive side. If you could claim that to be an advantage for them, I necessarily don't. But you could if you wanted to.
I think you can count that as an advantage. It's not going to be an end-all, be-all advantage, but
No.
it might give them that slight edge above the other side. If it was a team that was used to starting on attack going against them, like a team not called Molotov Gang, I think it wouldn't be an advantage. But since MVG are also used to starting on defense, then I feel like that might affect them just a little bit because throughout the entire season, they've started on defense in every match except one. So they are they automatically just go to that little safe space of, okay, we're on defense first, but not this time. Penta starting on defense, and that might throw a wrench into their plans, their strategy, some of their tactics. Once again, it's not going to be a massive destruction. It's not going to be 7-0 just because Penta starting on defense, but it might be able to switch the gears and maybe give Penta a round more.
Yeah, and not really surprising that it was Penta that picked to start on defense. That probably shouldn't be a surprise as we are going to jump into the game now, heading towards the sunny countryside of Tuscany in Italy, where we find a beautiful, beautiful house through the gilded walls of Villa. We head into the operator ban phase, Tucker.
Operator bans.
Let's
And
go.
such a beautiful cinematic villa, one of the most beautiful maps in Siege, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's simple, but at the same time, the scenery is amazing. The architecture is amazing. But now, enough with the simping for villa and all that. It's a good map,
Soon
but
to be
let's get
gone.
into the
Rest
ban.
in peace.
Let's get into the bans. First ban is Knock. Wow.
Yeah, hold on. Where are those graphics? We had the graphics. I remember seeing that Knock was a common ban for one of these teams, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been on
I
the
think it
Penta
was
graphic.
Penta.
I think it was Penta. And I think their other most ban was Mozzie as well. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so Knock and Mozzie we're looking at for Penta. That's the same bans for MVG actually in terms of most banned. So we're going to see something a bit different now in the Flores. Makes sense if you want to play some sort of Azami or just deployable shields a lot, or Azami will be banned out as well, so never mind. But Flores gets a lot of utility thinking of deployable shields, what would have been the Azami barricades or keeper barriers. Also, things like Vulcan canisters from Magoyo can be dealt with a Flores before the push comes in, makes them unviable to actually play those. And this is a bit of a change from the norm, Tucker, the Solis ban instead of the Mozzie.
Solus instead of Mozzie. I mean, Mozzie absolutely makes sense, but I mean, out of the entire season, Solus has been the most banned operator with almost a 70% ban rate. I feel like at this point, it's tradition. You just have to ban Solus here at the ESA Cup. And I mean, I get it. Solus is, I would say, the strongest operator to come out in the last 2 years. If at least top 3. But in my personal opinion, strongest operator in like 2 years.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
She is insanely strong. I mean,
Fenrir is pretty strong.
That is true. Fenrir is strong.
Azami's strong. Like honestly, some of the newer defenders are just absolutely cracked.
Yeah, Azami is really strong at the high competitive levels, which is absolutely fair. I would say like Azami gets a lot of use here. I mean, there's a reason that she is also one of the most banned operators. Let me pull up the percentage for her. Azami is actually the second most banned operator, which is or second most banned defender, excuse me, which is 37.3%.
Yeah.
And Azami is very good. Those knives, those Kaba knives, or is it Kiba or Kaba?
Kiba.
Kiba knives, yeah. The Kiba knives are just so useful. Despite you can melee them and they explode pretty easily, they are still very, very useful if you put them in the right spots. But I mean, Solus, you can give anybody a Solus and they're going to be useful. That's the danger of Solus. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even necessarily have to be very good with that operator. First time you ever play Solus, you can secure your team around.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Like Solus is just brings that utility. The IQ on defense, but has a bit more usage than IQ does, just because of how much. Because drones are in every round. You know, IQ is brought situationally to spot out things like maybe the Wamai magnets, maybe the Mozzie Pest. I'm not entirely sure on the IQ in this composition from MVG, but in terms of what usually you see if you have a Valkyrie being brought along, IQ is pretty much needed. Bankers, though, doesn't need to actually use the utility, instead using the gun already inside of Astro and takes down Tim. That's the opening death inside of this game, inside of the day even, but there's a response from Nesto, taking down Bankers in response in a trade, and now Nesto himself is dealt with. That long angle from NT on the Amaru is going to be taking him down.
3 versus 4. Orange Team MVG starting off really nice. Shinji gets one, but trades it off immediately. And Tiro left with a very tiny sliver of HP, peeking around, wants to see the player. Sees it for a second, but not enough time to land a shot. Headshot, lands, nice flick. Double kill for Tiro. And this was a round that was almost MVG's, but now they are on the downside. MVG with just a minute to go. It's left to Phantom. Diffuser is in hand, and they do have a couple of those Selma breachers, but they got to play this round carefully. 2 is just a little too much. Too much pressure, and Tiro, Penta, wins it out. And a double kill for or triple kill for Mozzie, I believe, that round.
Yeah, that's lovely stuff from Tiro. That's what you want to see. Absolutely. And hey, Penta, they didn't ban Mozzie, and it's kind of working out for them so far. Obviously, in the sort of console scene, we tend to see Mozzie being picked less for the utility, more for, again, fragging out that gun skill. This is what your fraggers will play, to just have a good gun, the P10 Roni, and just hit heads. And that's exactly what we saw Tiro doing in the end round there, salvaging that round from Penta, because let's face it, MVG, they're in a 4 versus 2, and it ended in a 2 versus 0, and Tiro was a massive part of that.
I mean, when you're able to kill over half the enemy team, you kind of naturally get a spot as the guy of that round. So the Roni absolutely popping off. Remember when the Roni had so many more bullets? That was so much fun. I just remember that. Like,
Those were the days. Those were the days.
Those really were. Personally, I never play the Roni on Mozzie. I always play the assault rifle. I'm blanking on the name right now, but you know what it is.
Is it like Commander? No.
Something like, oh yeah, it's the Commando.
It's like, it's got a 9 in it, I remember.
I think so. I think it's literally the Commando 9.
Probably, yeah. I play the Roni just because of the BDS weapon skin. Because I've got the full BDS kit on that. So.
That is a really good looking skin, but I just love my Commando 9 a little bit too much. The Roni's good,
is nice.
But I'm kind of just an M1 gamer. I hold it down for the entire round, and 16 bullets is just not enough for me.
No.
Oh, wow.
Ew. Was that a vertical nade?
I think it was. But on top of the pool table? Hello?
That's why he's not dead, I guess. That is...
No
the pool table is
the pool table did not just save Schluo's life. No, that did not happen. Reload. You have got to be kidding me. The pool table just saved Schluo's life from a vertical nade, and Mute lives to fight another day. Unreal.
Yeah, absolutely. Schluo going to be counting his lucky stars after that one. Nesto taking a bit of damage as well in the meantime here. So on the main stairs, we do have just a little bit of a ceasefire. A little bit of breathing room here for both of these teams. Tim is down on this basement, spots out one, but can't land the shots coming through, so does dip away. Just has to get out of there. Nesto as well, still aggressive on this angle, finding the opening pick. Enti, though, finally deals with Schliwu, who, let's face it, should have been dead the first time around. Nesto nearly getting taken down by Enti, who's on a tear. Phantom another. Tim, though, does find one. C4 out. It's going to not explode. Shot out by the approaching Yana, who is going to get that kill. Vasi getting the kill there. Tiro a trade. 2 versus 2 now in the end round here.
And the diffuser's down on the balcony. Tiro double kill, and Vasi completely leaves the game. Probably a disconnect, but I want to say it's a rage quit because I think that'd be funny. 2-0, and Tiro being the guy for Pinter right now. So far, I believe that's 5 kills on the round, or 5 kills on the match so far. That's 2 on the round, and that is an impressive start for this Mozzie. And we're gonna actually take a pause. I believe it was a disconnect. Maybe they were having a tech issue, had to restart the computer. I don't know. Rainbow Six Siege moments. You all get the jig.
Yeah. So we're just going to just sit back a little bit, digest those first 2 rounds here, Tucker. Tiro, what a performance so far. That's for sure. It's I don't even really know what to say entirely, because that's just just fragging, just straight up fragging. There's not much you can do. Tim as well having an impact in that round, but MVG, they're getting close is the thing. They're getting close. They just can't get it over the line.
And that's one of the specialties that a good fragger brings with that Roni. Tiro absolutely popping off. They're getting so close, and then Tiro decides to go Superman mode. No kryptonite in sight, shooting down everybody, and now we're 2 rounds in, and he's averaging 2.5 kills per round, which is frankly insane. It'll be impressive if he's able to keep it up for another couple of rounds. Like, if he's able to get, like, double digits in the first half, that would be very impressive.
That would be insane.
I mean, to start us off, he's already doing fantastically, but can he keep it up? That's the real question. Anybody can have a good first round, second round. Anybody can even get like 5 to 7 kills in the first 3 rounds, but to keep it up for a whole game, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
And that's what really shows.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of one of my many ranked sessions where like 1v3 in the first round, get 3 kills, and then end the game on 3 kills. So,
Yeah.
that's happened more than I care to admit.
Low rank things. You have one good round and you've used up all your skill for the week, and then you get like 2 kills throughout the rest of the month. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it looks
shout
like
out to any bronze and coppers in the chat.
Represent. No, I'm actually in gold this season, so
I'm not.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a bit of a longer break than we anticipated. Rehost 6 Siege, etc., etc. So we're going to throw to a quick break. When we come back, though, round number 3 of Villa will be on your screens. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
But they had it.
Yes.
But the Flores went to like the most awful plant position I've ever seen.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Those castles, Castleberry.
Welcome back to the ESA Cup. It is still Starcoin and Pasta here with round 3 of this match. We're still in the Switch stage. Nothing's different. We just needed a rehost. This is round 2 of the Swiss stage playoffs. MVG versus Pinta. And right now, Pinta is currently rolling right on through, up 2-0.
Yeah, obviously, since the rehost, all the kill death stats have been reset, unfortunately. Let's not forget, Tiro is on 5 kills. That's really who I'm looking at. 5-0.
Not only 5 kills, but he has not died.
Yeah. So, we're thinking potentially a player that could get into that double digits. That's kind of where my mind is looking, just in terms of that, just because of how good a first couple rounds that Tiro had. I don't actually remember any of the others, so sure, it won't be important.
I mean, not dissing any of the other players, any of the other 9 players, but whenever you got a player performing at the caliber that Tiro is performing right now, it's easy to kind of oversee everything and just kind of hover over Penta or cover over Tiro, because Tiro has been playing such an amazing game of Siege so far. It's going to be interesting to see how the rehost is going to affect Penta, because they essentially got iced. I know someone in chat said that it's a tactical rehost to ice Penta, or to nerf Penta, or to nerf Tiro specifically. And I mean, maybe.
Could be. They are going to be on that tertiary side, though.
The Siege gods saw that Tiro was doing too well, and they just had to cause a rehost. They had to cause problems, Tiro's simply too good right now.
I'm looking at these C4s, actually. They have a Valkyrie, who I would assume have cameras upstairs. That's Nesto, obviously. So I would say that...
Didn't work.
Never mind. Yeah, Tiro's just out again. Although NT has spotted out Tim. That's your Fenrir going down just immediately in the bathtub. Shliwu in on the action then. Taking down Shinji, and second as well. That's NT going down, and Tiro might only need to get 1 kill inside of this round. Phantom taking out Shliwu now. Up here on the top floor, Tiro another. And now it's a 1 versus 3 for Phantom, who is left in a bit of a bit of a tricky situation, a very tricky situation. And it's going to be a trade out. Tiro, first death of the game, but still finding the frag. 7 total now. 2 post rehost, obviously. And what a round from Penta again. They complete that rotation. We said defensive prowess very much in play for Penta.
Can you imagine smurfing in a comp match?
That's what the rehost was. It's smurfing, so it looks like he has less kills. That's
So that makes Tiro... That gives Tiro 8 kills in 3 rounds with 1 death. But the 1 death was also a trade. It wasn't like he got outgunned. He literally shot at the same time, and it was a trade-off. That is absolutely unreal. So now Penta is up 3, and they're going back to their primary site. I'm not sure if we're going to get a 4-2 this round. I think we're getting at least a 5-1, because they made pretty quick work of Aviator Games. They made pretty quick work of the next one. And I mean, the last round was absolutely smooth. Downstairs on Kitchen, hello?
MVG didn't even get a look in at the site.
Exactly. And to do that on Aviator Games is one thing. To do that on Kitchen is completely different.
I think it says something, though, as well, about the way MVG attacked in that round, though. They kind of all just went for Astro, and there wasn't anything really that looked like it came through on Laundry, anything that came through on Pantry. A little bit one-dimensional from Molotov Gang Germany. I would like to see that now we've had those 3 rounds, they can build on that, they can improve, they have some different angles of attack as we head back now to Trophy Statuary, the first site that we saw. Obviously, it was a bit of a go in round number 1, but after that rotation, it's back. Frostmat spotted out by the Twitch of Vasi, so not going to catch him off guard. They know that there is a Frost in play. Default camera already shot out, and just gaining some information here over on the Astro side, looking towards bedroom as well.
Call out comes out and Risk walks on over to Astro to assist the Frost. Looks like this MVG team wants to push in through bathroom up top, but Tim has a very advantageous position, as well as the mute right next to him. NT staring right down the the barrel of a gun, not the bullet of a gun. Almost gets their head taken off, but they get away with one for now. Vertical Maze starting to come out, opening up some view holes for them, and now Nesto has to be very careful about where they stand. On the other side of the map, one more kill, G36 popping off, Tim falls off, and it's a 5 versus 3 here on Statue as well. Nesto using the MP5K, lands the first frag for the defense this round, but still, MVG is up 1 man, and with NT making the L85 pop off, give him the F2 as well for Vasi. 4v1, and Risk needs to have a stellar round, and there's nothing there for him. Shinji ends us off, and MVG take their first round in Trophy.
Much, much better round for MVG there. As for Penta, they lost their gunfights. Obviously, that's a big thing. You know, Tiro didn't get a kill that round, which is kind of big news. Reduces his KPR to 2 kills per round. So, you know, terrible.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Awful. And yeah, there you go. There's the rage quit. Another rehost. It appears will be required. So. Every 2 rounds, every 2 rounds here, Starcoin, we're getting another rehost.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but sometimes these things happen. Productions issues are just a way of life. It'll get fixed pretty soon, but until then, all we got to do is just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna remake the lobby. Let's hope it's not as long as the last time. We can try to keep them updated. We'll talk about the last couple of rounds, of course.
Yeah.
The next 2 rounds off of the rehost were Penta and then MVGs, and MVG actually only dropping 1 player, leaving their last one in a MVG only dropping 1 player, leaving the last Penta player in a 1v4. A much more efficient take on the site, and overall just a lot better gunplay as well. The first couple of rounds were absolutely Penta's stomping grounds. They were able to win the gunfights with relative ease. But this time, MVG forced some of the gunfights that made it a little harder, more advantageous gunfights. And overall, I think they just started to warm up. Their aim was a lot more crisp, and they were able to win it. And crisp aim does wonders, of course. Rainbow Six has a lot of utility, but when you have a couple of really good gunners, then you're not going to lose.
No, I even if all the strats in the world, if you can't get the kills, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, Siege is an FPS game. You get shot, you die. Basically, is kind of how you sum it up. Yeah, there's like flashes and nades and stuff, but overall, you get shot, you die. You get shot, you lose a round, you lose a game. Direct quote from Bren. Now I know he's talking about Valorant in that clip, but it was such a, I don't know if you've seen it, Tucker, but I died laughing at that Bren clip. He kind of goes a bit nuts. So back to the game though. Yeah, MVG much better round 4. They took those gunfights like you mentioned that they needed to, and that's kind of what they needed to do. They had better positioning as well, and it's all kind of confounded on each separate thing. They had better positions, which enabled them to have better gunfights, which enabled them to get the kills, which enabled them to win the round.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even think we saw too much utility from MVG that round. I know we saw one grenade to force a kill hole in the floor on site, but other than that, I don't think we saw really much of anything from MVG. Of course, there were some drones and some Twitch drones, but like actual throwables and placeables, we didn't see very much of it. I know we saw a Twitch drone, and I think it was just a Twitch drone and a frag grenade. Not sure what happened off screen, but that's what happened on screen.
Yeah, and the Twitch drone was kind of used to get information. It was for intel, really. I didn't see much getting destroyed by the shock drones at all. So, you know, there it is again, just taking the gunfights that they needed to. Obviously, you know, it feels a little bit unfair to say, oh yeah, they just win the gunfights. Obviously, it's a lot deeper than that. They had the positioning, and I think they were a little bit quicker as well this time around, too. Caught Penta a little bit off guard. This time, though, Penta should be prepared for it. But yeah, coming out of this rehost yet again, we need to remember that now Tiro's on 8 kills. 8 kills, 2 deaths. As I can hear that we're getting back into the lobby. I hear it with my ears.
I hear it with my ears, and I see it with my eyes.
Woo!
And you can as well. Here we go. Round 5. We're nearing the halfway point of this match. And like you said, I want to bring it back to your point. The positioning was a lot better for MVG the last round. Overall, they just played a lot better. They forced the gunfights that bettered themselves rather than Penta. They were the initiators rather than Penta was
untradeable.
Last round. And exactly. And let's also not forget, they started off a lot quicker this last round. They hit as soon as they had the chance. They were able to get a good look onto the site. And then the last 3 rounds, they weren't even able to get really that close. I think in the first or second round back here on Aviator, I think one of the players got up the stairs, but that was literally as close as they got to the bombs.
Yeah, it was that round number 2, and then the last player died. Obviously, they were alone, just trying to get through the study door from the balcony. Bit of a Hail Mary, bit of a desperate, you know, last-ditch effort, and it didn't work out, but yeah, MVG, they definitely looked well improved in that round number 4. Obviously, with a rehost coming through, Penta's momentum, they lose a round, and then a rehost comes through. Maybe that momentum halted just a little bit. For MVG, though, you could also say the same thing. They just got around, and then they have to stop, slow it down again. They don't have the chance to build up from that. So I hope they've maintained the energy, maintained that winning form, because I want to see a close game here on Villa.
I mean, the first time we had a rehost, we thought it might be the Tiro nerf, but that absolutely was not the case. He went 3-1 the next round.
Yeah.
That death was actually a trade. So,
and then 0-1 the round after that. So, whoops.
That is true. That is very true. But now the rehost starts again. Maybe it's trying to jumpstart this car of Tiro, because the rehost did him well last time. Let's see if it'll do him good this time. And of course, Penta still in the lead by 2. They're still in a pretty good spot. They just need to get back on that round-winning train rather than falling off and letting MVG... Whoa! Whoa! Tiro dies right after, gets traded off. But man, what a shot!
That's not even necessarily gun skill. That's the game sense to know that someone's there. That's the map knowledge to be able to pre-fire the window exactly. Perfect kill there onto Vasi. Like you said, though, Shinji able to trade it back. However, look at how much control Penta have of study. They know MVG have been going for these more one-dimensional approaches, and it's allowed Shliwu to get into this aggressive position to start peeking out onto the balcony, because they know that it's unlikely that there's going to be many people there. However, they might actually know Shliwu's position, but my magnets provided by Nesto obviously are going to be making that one. Very, very nice to get through. So NT going to try and take that swing, and it's a trade out from Bankers. Actually, I thought it was a direct trade, but no, Bankers was there just as a little bit of backup. Is able to get that trade. 3 versus 3 now, heading into the final 45 seconds as Phantom taking a lot of damage from those impact grenades.
Jackals right outside of that window, going to try to make their way in through Study, but there is a lot of eyes on it. They got to be very careful about where they take these fights. Staircase shots do land, and now one's down. Swings around. That'll make it a 3-on-1. Nesto landing a nice double. And Phantom still coming from 90. Has to land these shots. It's a 1 versus 3 with only 20 seconds to go. Not very good. 15 now, just counting down. Peeks around the bomb, and Risk is holding the angle. Vector 45 ACP gets the job done. 4-1 for Penta.
That's a very difficult angle to challenge for Phantom. That's basically over before it began for that clutch, really. Just from the positioning of Penta, and that's a very good sign. They're going to continue their rotation and not opting to try and go back for that trophy. Instead, heading to their tertiary bomb site here, Dining and Kitchen. It worked out for them the first time, but so did Trophy, and we saw how that played out in round number 4. This could be the 4-2 half that MVG so sorely need, because 5-1, the game's basically over. 4-2, you have that chance to have your rotation, get to overtime, start on defense in overtime, and potentially claim the game.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-2 or bust round for MVG. If they are not able to get 4-2, I think we can call it right there. Just move on to the next one. Don't even watch these last 3. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, definitely a needed round for MVG. If they lose this round, I do not see a world in which they come back. Once again, anything's possible. Penta can have a massive fall off, but talking about probability and being realistic, Penta would likely take this half and this game pretty easily. Yeah. Last time they were down here on Kitchen Dining, they were able to take it with probably the most decisiveness that we have seen from this team so far, not even letting MVG get anywhere close to the site. And we saw it in the first couple of rounds, but not like they showed in round number 3. If they can do that again, that might just seal their fate of seal the fate of MVG.
Yeah. And Tiro still on track to get double digits on this half as well. So
very true.
That's the thing to look forward to. Yeah, Schliwo getting a little bit aggressive, but still within the confines of the bomb site surrounding area. Not necessarily getting too ridiculous, but does actually find the kill onto Shinji. I'm not entirely sure whereabouts that was. Must have been in the red corridor somewhere. And NT just a bit too slow to try and find that trade, sitting now on this living room door, looking towards Memorial. So that should be this rotation area cut off. If Schliwu is able to rotate out of here and get the frag, I'm going to be mildly upset.
Oh, NT catches Jaeger running away, and Schliwu just runs back and gets more damage. Yikes, that is... Oh, that's an interesting decision. I don't know, interesting decision, but I guess it keeps them alive for now. NT drops down, G3 gets one more kill, takes down Fenrir, and that is another round of Fenrir being the first to fall on defense. Man, Fenrir just cannot catch a break. F90 for good luck. Over on the other side, headshots Nesto. And this orange side, MVG, starting to get a little bit closer. There's another one with the sledge, taking the frags easily. Rushing in a little bit too quick as Tiro, and Schluo is all that's left. 1 versus 3. 416 needs to pop off. Gets one, but it's a one and done round. And that will do us for the half. 4-2. And wow. Cuencas did that blind.
Penta. That's not a good round from Penta. I'm trying to find positives. I mean, yeah, cool. Opening kill for Schliwu. Sure, whatever. There was no reason to get as aggressive as they did. Yeah, sure, you know, you're in that man down. You have to try and create a play, but not necessarily. You can kind of bunker down. You are the defense after all. You can make sure that you have time on your side, hold back a little bit, group up with your teammate as well. 2 very separated players there in the end, and Tiro just jumps down, sprints straight in, and is obviously not prepared to take the gunfight there inside a memorial. Little bit of maybe overheating from Penta, and that is the lifeline that they've now thrown to Molotov Gang. They have now the little like rubber like dingy like lifesaver, and if they can now have a standard rotation, that's overtime, and that's basically won them the game. Because 4-2 halves, you expect then defenders to win, and MVG start on defense in overtime. Should we get there? Penta need a 5-1, need a 3-3 attack in half here on Villa. Otherwise, MVG likely take this, and Penta then have to go down to that mid-level, that 1-1 in round 3 of Swiss.
I think we're going to need to see another pop-off half from Tiro as a lucky shotgun shot just takes a little bit of chip damage off. That was honestly exactly how the last round for Penta went. Just everything kind of went wrong. Started off really rough. And that's exactly what happened to this round. Tiro runs right through the door, takes some chip damage from the shotgun. I think it was the, I believe it was the secondary shotgun from Vassi, the ITA, that did that. Either way. Not
Either way, Vassi's dead. Okay.
All right, that's just the revenge. Tiro got angry, went on the hunt, got the frag, got the early advantage, but it's not going to stay like that. It's traded off. But Shluo, the attacking side, able to force the unfair gunfights for the defense. That's one thing that the attackers will always have over the defense. They control the pace of the game.
Bankers!
Oh, aye. Bankers and Shinji catching Shluo from behind. MP5 SD puts the advantage back on to MVG. The ball is back in Penta's court. And Nesto and Tim have got to find something. I feel like they would definitely like to win this first round. That will do a lot better things. I don't know if they can take an L this first round, because that would put them down only 1. And with how decisive the defensive half was, I don't see a world where they can take the first round L and still survive this half. Double kill for MVG. It's NT and Bankas to get these last 2 ended off. MVG now have won 2 in a row.
Yeah, and that's their first defense. Pressure now off a little bit, settle into this half. Now heading over to Trophy Statuary, which we expect to see. It's that standard rotation. And, if this continues, they win on Trophy, they lose Kitchen, and it goes back again, repeat, rinse and repeat. Like, we say standard rotation, that's like the ideal, like, midpoint game of Siege, right? Is you have those 4-2 splits, you win primary, win your secondary, lose the tertiary, and then that happens the other side. It doesn't happen so often these days, but I remember, maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, every single game would have like a 4-2 split for the defense, where it was you win your primary, win your secondary, lose the tertiary, and then rinse and repeat. It's kind of just a standard of R6 gameplay. Again, less common now, considering how the meta is. It's a little bit more balanced, but not rare to see that coming across. And even if not, 4-2 halves still incredibly common.
Castle gameplay here
Let's
at
go.
ESA Cup. It's Vassi. I'm excited to see. I personally love seeing Castle. There's a lot that you can do. Of course, he's a very simple operator, but man, with what you can do with those blockers, or not with those blockers, with those barricades, is just insane if you can put them in the right spots. You can make or break around with Castle, which if you heard anybody saying that like 2-3 years ago, you'd probably slap them, but nowadays it's just so true.
They wouldn't be allowed to speak ever again if you said
exactly.
If they were like, oh yeah, Castle's like really strong, you'd be like, shut up.
Exactly.
Just stop talking. But yeah, no, incredibly popular choice now, incredibly strong as well. For those moments, Bankers nearly finding a bit of heat there down by the Astro stairs, and I'm not entirely sure who that was. I believe it was Nesto, just inside of Mudroom. Does have another player there assisting him, though. The drone coming through and tries to take the swing, but then again, no one's on the other side of it. Just is aware of this pressure coming through. NT as well, taking a bit of damage. This could be the off angle that Bankers needs, though. Finds the feet, but not able to get it done. Takes a drop, but it's a shotgunner Phantom, actually, who takes down Tiro, who's not having the greatest game after that second rehost. Only 2 kills now, total of 11. Still pretty good, but nowhere near that performance from the first half that we saw. So it's a 4 versus 4 now in the mid round. Risk rotating downstairs. Use both of the nades for that vertical pressure. And now that Tiro's down as well, that's all of that explosive utility, unless you, of course, count the Ash charges like soft breach and claymores. I don't count. So yeah, just one single Ash charge left in terms of trying to deny utility, but in terms of actual killing utility that explodes, the attack are all out of it. So 50 seconds left on this round. MVG looking pretty good. They're sitting pretty here in this round. Shliru kind of chasing Ghost a little bit. Does know that Bankers is here, but wasting so much time down in the basement. Risk taking a bit of damage as well. Shliru on about 55 HP. Bankers not looking the healthiest himself, however, and he's going to get taken down. Clean headshot with a G36 from Bankers. Now, that's man advantage for Penta, but Phantom is still close on these stairs. Could play spoiler to this entire round, just letting them know of his presence. They are aware of his position. Takes a swing round, Risk so low, but so is Phantom, and there's a pre-fire coming through. 4 versus 2 now. Penta are looking in such a good position, and MVG need to hold on. Shinji with one, dips away. Barricade locking him in place. He's stuck here inside of Wolf, and he's able to get a second. Shliru now the only player left able to cover because the plant going down. Nesto is sticking it, has secured it now. 2 versus 1 again. Shinji rotated across, swinging round through Astro, making that rotation. Nesto can't land the shots, and it's Shliru who shuts it down there. Penta, they regain that 2-round lead. It's 5 rounds to 3 now, and they are looking strong to take this game by the scruff of the neck, and maybe they might win in regulation after all.
I'm going to come out and say it. Penta got absolutely bailed out. MVG was holding it down with an iron fist, or with a vice grip, I should say, and Penta was able to sneak it out of there. Caught MVG off guard. They took so long getting close to the site. By the time that there was one person on site, there was like 10 seconds left. Very close to them actually losing that round. And honestly, if that last player on MVG was able to swing out just a little bit early, if Fassi got around there, swung a little bit further, got the kill on that diffuser player, that was wraps. That was a tie ball game, but that didn't happen. Fassi went back, got scared because the shots missed from Nesto. But they're able to take it away. It's all right. We can breathe easily. That was by far the closest round we have had. Yeah. Overall, good round from both of these teams. I just feel like Molotov Gang pushed up a little bit too far and lost too many players too quick. If that was not a 4v1, if it was more like a 4v2 or 4v3, that was absolutely MVG's round going into the end game, the last 15 seconds. But that's not how the House of Cards fell. It fell in a different way. MVG let up quite a few bodies in the middle to end part of that round, and it left Fassi in an unwinnable position. Or not Fassi, sorry. It was Banquist.
Yeah. But, you know, that's all in the past now. Bankers making up for it with an opening kill onto Tim. That's Thatcher going down. Important utility to take off the board first. And maybe even more important than taking out the Yana, because Tiro, again, since the rehost, hasn't necessarily been having that impact. It's been Shliru who actually has been the one stepping up to the plate. 7-3 after round number 4. So that's actually only, like 3-4 rounds of actual data that we have, and he's nearly on 2 since then. 2 kills per round, that is. C4 comes out as well. Tiro is going to be down 30 HP, so this is looking already a lot more dangerous for this Penta side. But let's just remember how it planned out last round. It was a 4 versus 4, and yeah, didn't go well. Shinji was able to get a little bit done, but it wasn't exactly conducive. Risk, though, does get one back, and just baited out his teammate a little bit, but was even still able to get the kill, so and get the revive.
Okay, that positioning was crazy. Shinji was
Huh.
walking up those stairs. Meanwhile, there was one player that was repelled.
Yeah, that's a scary situation. NT taking out Shliwu as well. 8-4 since the rehost. Still a very good KD. Bankers getting aggressive onto these windows, and I feel like they're just taking fights they don't need to take. NT, though, is going to get a kill with the impact grenade. Nesto jumping in. All of these players so incredibly low for Penta as NT finds a triple on the round to take out Nesto, and it's just risk now. This time, the clutching situation is in the hands of Penta, and they need to get it done, but this time, not even a single kill found by the player left alone, as it's NT. 4 massive frags this round, and that's really helped MVG get over the line, but they still need to repeat that success. And another thing as well, they win AVG, but then they have the kitchen to play, because Trophy will be locked out until that round number 12. The very definition of barely squeaking by.
How long this game is going, it would not surprise me if we see a 7-5 for either way. MVG, these last few rounds have been completely theirs. Even the last round, Pinda was able to sneak away. MVG played better for over half of the round. So we might just be seeing a little bit of an upset. You might have called it. The underdogs don't have as much to lose as Penta. They have been a big, big team here at ESA Cup. They have had so much to prove. Meanwhile, MVG just coming in, playing their game, and they're only losing by 1. And now they're on Aviator Games, which is the primary side for a lot of teams. I was just wondering what Shinji was doing. 3 Capcan traps on 1 door. Love to see it.
If you walk through there, you're dead.
that's true. That is absolutely true.
Well, obviously, if you shoot the Capcan, so it's not. But yeah, you walk through there, it's over. You don't even get injured. Even a 3 health now. I was gonna say 3 armor, but back in there, even a 1 speed. There we go.
No DBNO for you if you walk through that door.
Yeah.
And I get it. I would just rather like spread them out a little bit rather than just going for the one and done kill. But you know, different play style. No shot. You have got to be kidding me.
How do your words taste? How do they taste? Because unfortunately, officially, he's made you.
I plead the 5th.
This is Europe. That doesn't work over here. Unfortunate.
Oh, come on.
You just say no comment instead. It's pretty much the same thing.
No comment. You were right. I was wrong, Shinji. You are the better player.
Oh my god. NT hasn't stopped since that previous round. That's insane. It was a 4K last round, and that kill is just offensive. That's offensive. What? Pens are getting torn limb from limb. That's insane.
They really are. With just 90 seconds to go, and both of your main entry guys are gone. Ayana's gone. Ash is gone. I think Shluo did go down. Actually, I know Shluo went down to that triple Capcan door, because I looked at that door after, and there's no more Capcan traps on it. They all exploded. Bankus on the flank catches Tim. No chance for him. Headshot with the Roni keeps him cooking. 4-5 is the score. We are likely looking at a tied up game at the end of it. NT gets the trade. Risk has to pop off. First kill is theirs. Can't get the next one. Shinji will take it with a 9-19. And we are tied 5-5 with MVG on defense.
Here's the big test now, though. Kitchen Dining, they weren't able to find success here. The first... Actually, no, this is... Am I being stupid? This is the first time we're seeing this site, actually, for MVG.
I think so. Not
this is the test.
Not the first time we've seen it for Penta, but...
No, but
I
MVG
don't think
defending,
Molotov Gang has gotten here yet.
Yeah, because they lost Trophy round 2, and then they had to play it round 2.5. So that would be round 8, and then they played it again round 9, and then 1. So, yeah. Again, that previous round as well was just another example of where the attackers just couldn't get anywhere near the bomb site. And we saw that sort of situation work out well for Penta in that first half, that round number 3, I want to say it was, where they just didn't let MVG be anywhere close to them. It's just all fights that happened on the top floor. MVG might be looking to employ something similar, but that was very reliant on a one-directional, not very well thought out attacking push. Penta, I'm hoping, should be better than that. So MVG still needs to keep on their toes. They can't just rely on that top floor because of Laundry, because of Pantry, because of Mud even running in through that other kitchen door side, and Bikes as well. It is a very difficult site to defend, and it's tertiary for good reason. This is, like I say, this is the test.
Poor Spider just got stock bumped by the Ash Schluo, making sure that that will not catch anybody. So 5 versus 5 still. Penta making their way through the side. They are downstairs, and it looks like they're going to go for a bit more of a vertical push. I think they have, or not a vertical push, a horizontal push. Not too much vertical play being shown. I think there's one player that's like trying to come in from upstairs, but I don't really see that much of a need for it. Try to push them through, win out your gunfights. I feel that if Penta are playing at their best and they're able to force the unwanted gunfights for the defense, they're going to win this round. But the problem is they're simply not. There goes Shinji with another cap can trap. And Penta has forgotten how to force these gunfights. Oh, wow.
This is not a good situation for Penta at all. 3 versus 5, make it 2 versus 5 as Phantom finds one for himself. Nade comes through, but expertly dodged by NT. Risk, now the last player left alive. Potentially a flawless round coming through here. The nade comes in, caught out by the Magnet. Not going to be able to find a kill today. Risk is, well, in a very difficult situation. And MVG, they're going to be 6-5 up here, and well, they now go up to trophy after this round, because a 1v5 isn't happening. It's just not. The real question is, will it be flawless? And indeed, it will be. Shinji again, thoroughly stepping up in these final 2 rounds here. And MVG looks set to take this 7-5.
They really are. They get to go back to their either primary or secondary site, which is absolutely unreal. They're picking trophy. And I feel like they have had the most success on this site. And talk about a curveball being thrown into everyone's predictions. That is unreal, because the community predicted Penta. We predicted Penta. I'm pretty sure nearly everybody who tuned in knows that Penta was going to win. But now Penta's on the verge of an L. We go to trophy room. This is MVG's best site.
Yeah.
And they have to go there to possibly force overtime. Let's also not forget, forcing overtime is technically a good thing for Penta, but that might just prolong the suffering because MVG's starting on defense for OT, which is absolutely not a good thing for Penta. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse unless they can win out this attacking round and then somehow win 2 next time. I simply do not see it happening. But hold on a second. Big Frenchman. Risk bringing out the Monty. The time for talk is done. Let's bring out the shield.
If there's a place or a time to bring out the Montaigne, it is now. The desperation shield, the panic shield, as is often called, but can sometimes be effective in the right hands. Risk, in terms of previous games, previous seasons, not averse to playing those shields, making a quick march into study already inside of this area of the map. Going to be opening things up here. Shinji spotted out by the drone. They know of this position, and he's going to be getting caught out very quickly as Montaigne continues his advance, continues to apply this pressure in towards Vault. Shinji taking a lot of damage, and NT trying to support from below. but doesn't want to damage his teammate in the meantime, trying to find any angle onto this Montaigne who just continues to harass, but it's Shliwu who finds that kill, aided obviously by the pressure, by the distraction of Risk on the Monty there. Good start for Penta inside of this round, using that shield to their advantage, but they need to still be aware of all of the players in other positions. Enti downstairs could prove to be a massive thorn in their side. Still looking up towards this vertical, and he's going to be able to get some damage across onto Risk. Not quite the kill, though. And it's Shliwu, a double kill inside of this round. It's the second kill for him as Bankers goes down, and Penta look reinvigorated here as Phantom getting a lot of damage dealt. Vasi finds one, but Shliwu a triple, as now it's Vasi and Enti left. Shliwu again, he's on the bomb site, he's doing everything himself, obviously had the aid of Risk, and he's looking towards his Astro stairs. That's where Vasi is, that's where this player is going to be playing, downstairs. No C4 has the bulletproof camera, this time looking towards these red stairs, and Shliwu going to be hoping to get the ace, but no, Vasi shuts it down. 2 kills in the round now for him, has to try and do it all himself as well. Ace 1v4 needed to try and claim the win here, to try and avoid overtime, but it just doesn't look likely. On 10 HP, Risk continuing to pressure, continuing to apply this constant force of distraction. Vasi now doesn't know what to do. Flashbangs come through, has to dip, has to weave, has to get away, and can't beat out Nesto downstairs. He's going to take it with the AK-12, and we are going to overtime. The first map of the day, and it is delivering here, Starcoin. What a game we're having.
And it all thanks to Shluo and the Monty. Monty Gaming does it again. 1v3 to end us off, and the Monty played that almost perfectly. Walked forward, got the intel, put the pressure on the defense, and it just frankly let Shluo do whatever they wanted. And we're going to see him again. Second round in a row, we get a Monty. We are going to Aviator, which honestly is even more reachable for the Monty. This is going to be, in my opinion, probably even easier for this attacking side. Because all you got to do is walk through to study, and just push through. Walk through study, have someone watch your back from the left over by the staircase, and then just stand in that doorway, or even better, stand in that corner. If you got players behind you in study, you are not going to get killed from behind. Once that wall opens up, that is GR for the defense. But Risk is actually switching off and going to the sledge. That's really surprising to me.
They've spotted the cap-cam traps as well of Shinji down on that main door. But I think obviously, you know, you say just going to study, but where they are in AVG, there's going to be a lot more focus on defending this study side. You know, in the previous round, it was just Shinji on that side of the map. Obviously, Enti was downstairs, but it's just that didn't really count, didn't actually have much impact on the sort of passage of play there. This time, it is a lot more focused here. There's going to be crossfires available onto the Monty. It's going to be very difficult to actually push into, apply any sort of meaningful pressure in that area. So I think that's why we see Risk switching away. It can be done, but just don't want to take that chance. Instead, going to go onto the sledge. You know, you have grenades, you have that soft breach utility, and you have a pretty good gun as well. The LA-25 is definitely nothing to scoff at, as Bankers is just being harassed by every single drone on the planet downstairs. He just can't escape the drones, and we can't escape Risk either. Taken down, and it's 5 versus 4. Penta in the lead yet again.
Tiro, though, immediately goes down, and we are back to an even slate. Penta starting to make their way up those stairs, getting ever so close to the site. Oh, what a nitro!
Wow.
Shinji steals the life of Shluo away, and there goes the entry frags again. That is going to be massive in the end game of this round. You have no more entry frags. The closest you have is Tim with 3 flashes, but still, there's not a lot of entry frag potential with Nomad. Nomad is much more comfortable on the flank. That is absolutely huge for this round. That might have just been the kill to secure this match.
Tim, though, does get one back as well, Risk is going to be trying to find something through these floorboards. Nothing to find it, though. Still in a 3 versus 3. 50 seconds left on the clock. Nesto pushing up these main stairs. He's going to get a little bit of heat from that top side. Just has to destroy the barbed wire just to make it a little bit easier. Slow reactions as well there on the on that vertical angle from Nesto, from the ace, who has the diffuser, by the way. Now no longer it's dropped on the floor as he finds himself in that DBNO. Tim, though, does find the trade, finds the response, but it's now getting into a very tricky situation. Nesto's low. Nesto's downed even. They don't have the diffuser yet. Tim even lower on about 10-5 HP. Risk, the only player on Penta on full health, and that timer continuing to tick down as we head into red time. Shinji has the crossover, finds one, finds two for a triple. Can he get the quad? Yes, he can. And that's MVG onto match point now. It is another match point for the side of MVG. This time they have to go onto their attack to try and secure it, but then defense awaits them yet again. They are just one step away from claiming this game.
Solo plays are all that's needed for this match. That is now overtime match point for MVG, and it's all thanks to Shinji and the beautiful throwing arm Kobe Bryant into the player. The nitro kill was the kill that ultimately got that ball rolling. An incredible shot. What a throw as well. Could not have landed that any more perfectly. Made it a 3v3 at the end, and Shinji, the 919, is just perfect. Headshot, headshot, headshot. I don't even think the first two were headshots, honestly, but man, beautiful kill. For how important those kills were, they should be. Honorary headshot title for those last 3 kills.
Yeah, I mean, what a performance. And Tiro's still on 11 kills. Very much fallen off inside of this game. Started it out, 8 kills in the first 4 rounds, and only 2 since then. And we're currently in round number 14. That's 2 kills in 9 rounds. Not ideal, and was having such a massive impact in the well. To see Tiro stepping up now here. On this still on this weekend, the goal, the gun that is for getting France realistically. You really think about that, and she can take the wings yet again. It's fight with first. This is what they wanted to see, and that's another we got taken down. 4 versus now, still in the impact yet again of this game. Go across, just back. Still good position to be in, and they've got good trade position. The only one I'm a little bit about here is that they can great trading about. It gets taken really easily. 3 versus 3 for the easy.
4 versus 3 now. And Tiro holding a very aggressive angle here on the stairs. They've got to defend this. Orange team now dropping the diffuser. Tiro popping off once again. Able to closen us up. Dokkaebi, though, seeing the phone, they want to go hack it. I think Tim's going to have them have it. There's no shot for them to be able to defend it. Everybody else on the other side of the map. Risk and this other player is playing so close. The ace will fall. Risk gets the frag. 1 versus 3 now for Bankas, and the Mach 14 has got to pop. 1 minute to go to win this game. The 1v3, very much important, or else we go to OT match point. Running around 90. Classical Hall, there's not a big enough hole to jump through, so you're going to have to go somewhere else. Maybe find a shot or run away. Sees the arm of Mira, but cannot land the shot. SMG-12 now coming out, and they're going to force the closer shots going through the other doorway. These are down on the floor, but you've got to land these shots. Doesn't matter. Going to run in. The intel's there. The shots are not able to land, and close range Vector gets the job done. We go all the way to round 15. Score is 7-7, and MVG are on defense one more time. Insane rounds from all of these players. Both of these teams taking it the entire way home. Only one of these teams can come out on top. One of these teams is going to lose. Whether it's Penta, whether it's MVG, Penta has played such a good game. Tiro had an amazing start to the game. The first 3 rounds were absolutely unbelievable. But ever since the second rehost, Tiro has been nowhere to be found. And the last sight of the match will be Trophy. And this has been MVG's bread and butter the entire day. Penta needs to have the round of their life.
Well, you say that. Round 7, the first time MVG played it, they actually did lose to Penta. So, it's still very much possible that we could get a Penta victory here. This one kind of hangs in the balance. It's obviously not kitchen and it's not living room library, so it is the best chance that they have for it, obviously. But in terms of... it's definitely not a done deal.
Last time that they brought a Monty, they were able to win the round pretty significantly. I believe that was on actually the same site. It was on Trophy Room.
Oh yeah, they've lost it twice.
Actually, now that you bring that up, I think you're right. Monty might just be the tool that Penta needs to win this round, stay undefeated in the Switch stage. Let's see, I'm all for it. I have been a Monty main for years. I would love to see it. Warms my heart every time I see a Monty play. So let's see what you got, Risk. I know you popped off a couple of rounds ago, and by popping off, I mean walking forward and making callouts. All you got to do is do it again, and you're going to win this game.
And they've noted the C4 as well underneath. So that should be... yeah, they've noted the C4 down below, so that should be pretty good for them. Still pushing through, though, is Risk. Shinji has to fall back just a little bit. Obviously, I think it is his C4 that has been pre-placed, obviously. Could be Bankers as well. There could be 2 of them. I didn't notice any sort of C4 usage at all from them. And it's Enti who finds the first. That's Shliwu going down. I hear another C4 being ripped. Phantom there. Gonna just throw that one through. Yeah, Risk taking a lot there. And Bankers now being down. Tiro finds a nade. Flashes going off in a technically 3 versus 3 now that Bankers is in that down but not out sort of stage. And this is all incredibly tense. 45 seconds left to go of the round. Penta versus Molotov Gang. Only one of these teams can remain undefeated. And Tim is going to take down Vasi. Bankers has been recollected up, so still a 3 versus 3 now. And position now noticed it just didn't quite hold the discipline enough. And Tim now inside of the bomb site. Nesto finding Phantom. Bankers is low, taken down. It's all on Shinji. He's had a stellar game so far, but he can't get it done. Penta Sports, they take the victory. It took them 15 rounds to do it, but they do, in the end, find success. What a game we've been treated to, though, Tucker. Wow.
Absolutely unbelievable scenes from this Penta team. It was such a fantastic start for Penta, and then the fall off was unreal. Nothing was heard from Penta for rounds and rounds and rounds. It was match point for MVG, and then out comes Montagna. Fantastic work, Penta.
What a game that was. we've honestly been treated to something there. I am going to ask you for something now. I want to know, post-game, who your standout or highlight player was. Maybe let's say one player from each team. Who really was that player to watch? The MVP of each team, so to speak.
That is a hard one for Penta. For MVG, it's Shinji. No doubts
Yeah.
about that one. I mean, Shinji absolutely popped off.
Yeah.
In that entire like second half. That was Shinji's half. And Shinji was also the team that put them on match point in OT. Let's not forget. For Penta, I have to say either Risk or Shluo. Both of them played fantastically. I believe Shluo was the MVP and Risk was the secondary player. But also for a couple of those rounds, Risk was playing Monty where they weren't getting kills. So it's either Shluo or Risk. I'm leaning a little more towards Shluo simply because they were the ones that got MVP. They got more kills, but Risk was absolutely a key part in Penta getting these last couple of rounds that they got. So those are my picks. Shluo and Shinji.
Yeah, let's not forget as well that sort of in-game scoreboard only counts from round 5 onwards. So we only have 11 out of the 15 rounds there. I can't exactly remember what the stats were because we had 2 rehosts. In case you forgot, we had 2 rehosts in that first game there. So a lot of time. We had 2 rehosts. It went all the way to maximum OT. So we know that some of you at home might be getting a little bit tired. Going to head it to like a 5-10 minute break so you can grab a coffee, grab or a tea or something, grab a bite to eat, maybe go to the toilet. If you need to, have a nap, but you don't want to miss the start of the next game because we're now heading down to the lower games. These are teams that lost their first game, and it will be Project 100 versus Eagle Empire. Coming up next, I'll see you in a few. I just don't know how long I'm going. And we're back. Hot Nix's Basement, the ESA Bunker. Season 6 continues with now the lower games from round 2, the Swiss playoffs bracket. I'm still Pastor, still joined by Star Coin Hero. Project 100 versus Eagle Empire.
That is the match. It is both of these teams are 0-1 currently. However, there is a little bit of a mismatch. If you were not here for the group stage, let me run you through it. Basically, Eagle Empire was one of the lower rated teams throughout the group stage, able to sneak into the second stage, but they didn't do that great. And of course, Project 100 was actually the top rated team from the group stage, and they got an unlucky start to the Swiss, dropping 4-7 against Tracker Clan. So it was an unfortunate first round, but Project 100 throughout the ESA Cup has been notoriously one of the better teams, and Eagle Empire has kind of struggled.
Yeah, they absolutely have. It's not been smooth sailing for them at all. The only reason they're here is because Pira, who topped Group A, then disbanded. So then the next team from that group, I believe that's correct. If I look at the standings, the next team from that group then got seeded in, and they now the 15th seed. That also happened with Entropy Gaming. They disbanded, so Tracker Clan took their spot as the 16th seed. Coincidentally, Tracker Clan are the team that took down Project 100, the team that wasn't supposed to be there, squeaked through due to a technicality because Entropy disbanded, and then the team got replaced. Project 100, not a good start by any means. So this will be the chance for them to make amends. Basically, that's what this is all about: making amends, getting things done. Because their win rate, apart from that, looked so good. They are a very, very strong team.
They are one of the strongest teams in the ESA Cup, and like you said, Eagle Empire barely sneaking into the Swiss stage off of a technicality. Like you said, they're not supposed to be there. And sometimes those are the teams that do the best. Whenever you have a team that got kicked out due to unfortunate circumstances, some other team takes their place, they're not supposed to be there and they know it. So they're going to throw everything they have at that wall. Now, looking at Eagle Empire, you can see that they are not
Yeah.
supposed to be here. The win rate is 17. Most band ops being Jackal and Azami, and their best map is Chalet. It looks a little silly to think about, but we absolutely cannot underestimate them too much because they're still a very solid team. And Project 100, despite being the best team in the group stage, their last round, they dropped 4-7 to Tracker Clan. So they have to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. So heading back into now, again, these lower games, I'm excited to see what map we're going to go to. So let's bring up the map Veto and Theme Park. Okay, so we're seeing two maps that come next season won't exist. Obviously, Villa and Theme Park being taken out of the competitive pool for Consulate and Nighthaven Labs. That will be at the start of Pro League Stage 2. About the start of September, for those of you that are aware of that, or for those of you that weren't aware of that even. So we're getting a bit of a tour, bit of a final farewell, kind of final farewell to these maps. Villa, now Theme Park, with Project 100 going to start on the defense, Eagle Empire starting on the attack.
Yeah, Theme Park. This will likely be one of the last times that we see you. I personally don't like Theme Park. It makes me sad to play on, but I'm going to miss it. It's one of those maps that's been here forever. It had a rework not too long ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I think it was last year, maybe the year before that. The predictions are about what we would expect. Yeah. 94% saying that Project 100 is going to take it.
Yeah.
And 6% saying Eagle Empire. But hey, don't forget, everyone in chat, do not forget that you all voted for for Penta to take that. It was like 70, I think it was 71 to 29%.
Yep.
And MVG was able to bring it to max OT. What if we see another max OT with Project 100 and Eagle Empire? That would be something absolutely insane.
Yeah. Will it happen? I don't think so, but I mean,
maybe not.
I'm gonna actually check. I'm gonna check something now. I want to see what the community vote was for the previous Project 100 game against Tracker Clan, because obviously that didn't go as expected for sure. So let's see here. I think that was like the opening game of the season as well. Yeah. 50. Okay, it was 55 to 45, so not as bad, but still. People thought Project 100 were going to win that one, and they didn't. It was kind of close-ish, but still a team that needs to bounce back, because if Project 100 go 0-2 in Swiss, I don't know. I genuinely just I don't think that would be possible, but here we are.
There we see it. It is a knock ban from Project 100, and I believe this was... Yeah, I was just about to say, this is their attacker ban. There is the main attacker ban from Eagle Empire as well. Let's see what we see. Let's see what we have on...
Wow.
Let's see what we get for... Not Penta. I almost said Penta. Let's see what we get for Project 100 on defense. Let me guess. Boom, Solus. Aww. I tried to predict it.
Well, we'll see. So, yeah, actually, here's a question: Was Mira on the sheet? I don't think it was, but it was Jackal and Azami actually for Eagle Empire. So, yeah, slight change from the norm, but Project 100 are going to ban out the Azami anyway. So that's fine. Yeah, Project 100 most banned Azami Solus, like we saw in those stats at the start there. So Azami being taken down, not necessarily too surprising, as again, standard start to things here. Armory thrown, nothing out of the ordinary.
I will say one thing that's out of the ordinary. Monty pick. Monty on theme park is very hit or miss in my opinion. I like the play simply because I like seeing Monty wherever I am, but I'm
like
not sure on
cash
theme
work?
park, especially not on throne room.
No, for sure.
Either way, but Zeri gonna switch off of it, probably the smart choice. And we were talking about the bans a little bit ago, and this is actually a little bit of a different ban from the defensive Eagle Empire side because their two most banned operators are Jackal and Azami. But this time, they are getting a Jackal and Mira, which is a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, she is very, very strong on this map. And I think maybe the Montaigne was in preparation of an initiation of this defense. Obviously, pushing the Montaigne through cash is very, very... it's very, very fun to do. It works quite well at taking a lot of space. So that's possibly where they were thinking with that. But as it is trophy, we are going to get that switched away onto the buck from Zeri. As now we have the Gemini clone coming through, spots out Nerd on this inside of initiation. The drone's coming through. I don't even think he was able to get the hit on that drone. There's another one though that he does take down in the meantime. So Eagle Empire are going to be just sort of focusing their efforts kind of on this top floor, especially around this sort of security or control hatch even. As flashbangs come through, that's just going to force him slightly off the angle. Dob as well, rotating round. Pete as well is over on this sort of cafeteria side, closer towards above the bomb site. But it's Nerd who finds the first, still persisting inside of initiation and around this sort of eastern side, southeastern side of the map. Just, yeah, takes him down, and that's Nat being the first one to fall.
Not a good start from Eagle Empire. They're able to get a trade off, but it's a little bit too late. They're still behind on the tempo. 4 versus 3 for Project 100. Able to get this wall open. Wait, how did they get that open so quickly? What? Hello? There's nobody defending it, and Resh just casually gets the yellow wall open. All right, make it a 3v3 Eagle Empire with the same amount of players as well as the main wall open. That is a huge wall. That is a huge wall for Project 100 to let get opened. Now, 45 seconds to go. There's a lot of time left here for Eagle Empire to make their move. And if I'm being honest, Project 100 kind of in the rough spots. They have a roamer up top in the Mozzie, but everything is opened up on site, and they are about to get completely pulverized by this push.
Yeah, vods still
not
has...
if the roam comes in.
The
not if the
SMG-11.
roamer pops off.
Yeah, they need Nerd to get this flank off and time it perfectly. And yeah, he gets one. That's Zeri going down. Possibility for a second now, and that's also attention now a little bit split for Eagle Empire. They've got in though. C4 comes through again on that vertical, but it's not going to be enough. Vital's position noted on the default camera. Rush gets the plant down, but now 3 players staring his direction, and it's Vod who gets the kill there in the end of things. 3 versus 0 in the end, because while the plant has gone down, able to be defused just as easily. Jinky is going to take care of that one, but it was Vod who got that final kill. A successful first round from Project 100. I thought that was going to go in a different way.
Yeah, we made the mistake of doubting Project 100, which, I mean, hey, my fault. You know, it happens. Project 100 able to make the round, kind of turning bronze to gold type situation, as they were absolutely in a rough spot. They should not have won that. Actually, they should have won that. The roam was perfectly timed. If Nerd Sync was like half a second slower, it would have been a lot different. But hey, perfectly timed. Not so perfectly played, but it was good enough to get the job done. Project 100 will take the first round, and now here they are. Different site, going off to... Oh, what is that site? That's office, right? No, that's Daycare.
Bunk Daycare.
Bunk Daycare, yeah. But also, I just noticed this.
Theme
Pasta.
park veteran.
Yeah, this is one of the only matches that we see. This is the rare instance, one of the 30% ESA Cup matches where Solus is on the table.
Yeah. Not
Like
in
we were
play,
talking.
though.
Whoa. Spawn peek attempt. Quick pick Pete. Should be spawn peek Pete. Doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't. He's gonna get out of there. Hightail it out, tail between his legs, and still a 5 versus 5 at the end of the first second here. But yeah, Solus is available as an option, not in play though, from this P100 defense. Might come into play later, but it could just be sort of a Thatcher situation. You know, when we got to the point with Thatcher where, you know, just teams were so used to playing without him that even when he was available, all the strats didn't include Thatcher, so he wasn't played. It could be a similar situation here with Solus. Teams just expected to be banned away, so they don't even bother coming up with strategies to try and take advantage of those moments when she isn't banned out.
First kill goes the way of Eagle Empire. AK-74U popping off. One of my personal favorite guns. I know it's not technically one of the best guns, but man, it's so good. It's just so good.
It's nice.
Making quick work of Nerd Sync, and the Frost is done, but the Frost mats are still active. That's one good thing about having your Frost die first. It's much better rather than a like a Wamai dying first, because you place your stuff and you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't recharge.
Yeah, it's one of those just put down, forget about it. It's kind of utility. Obviously, you know, that recharging from the Wamai of Dob is going to be a little bit more dangerous if he does get taken down. But here's the C4 from Vod. Takes down Nat. Beautiful refrag. A little bit delayed, but still finds a trade in the end. Montaigne, though, applying pressure in towards waiting room. And Vod has to run away. It's a team kill, though. Rush taking down Vitals, not what you want at all. And Vod, yeah, maybe don't pressure the Ossa there. Shields in a very strong position here over by the Dragon Cash corridor. This sort of junction is now thoroughly in the hands of the attack. Zeri as well, making things a little bit better for Eagle Empire. If they hadn't had the team kill, would have been in a man advantage right now. But as it stands, 3 versus 3. Timer continuing to tick, however. 30 seconds left. Rush, he's just been able to jump through. Redeeming from that previous mistake. Pete, though, is able to get that response. And oh, Fod nearly finds a flick, has to dip away. Could possibly find a shotgun, but no. SMG-11 wasn't good enough for it. Solus takes him down. Pete on to Zeri. 1 versus 1 now. 15 seconds left. No diffuser either. It's going to be a very difficult situation with 10 seconds to go. And Pete is able to get it in the end there. Project 100, these rounds, they've been close, but able to get them across the line, Tucker.
Both of those rounds were way too close for comfort to my liking for Project 100. But hey, that is what is so important about being a fantastic team. Project 100, they're able to win those rounds. And let's also not forget that the Monty team kill was absolutely crucial. If they were not able to get that, then that could have been absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, absolutely. That certainly would not have been good in the slightest. And yeah, so many things that just could, like, tiny differences. You know, the team kill. It was a 1 versus 2 coming through from Pete there as well. It's those minute little things. Project 100, though, they have the lead. And this actually feels a little bit like that previous game, Tucker. I don't know if you agree with me. Where, like, Penta, they won those first 2 rounds, but they were pretty close rounds. These ones actually even closer than that that game on Villa. So, opportunity still, but again, very good defensive bomb sites here for the side of Project 100 to play around. This one usually the secondary site for most teams, actually. So you can swing either way, but they've won on bunks, which is, some teams view it as a more difficult one. Other teams view this not trophy, Initiation Office to be the more difficult side to attack this with. This is where we see the Montaigne a lot of the time, heading in through Cash, providing a lot of pressure right close up to the bomb site. Think of it like Study on Villa when attacking AVG. Get through the balcony on the Montaigne, very, very strong position for the attack.
Look what we have here. An Amaru play. Gonna go ahead, use the Gara hook, get on in. All right, let's see where this is gonna go, shall we? This okay. Decides to take it low.
Okay.
Interesting choice. Instead of going up and trying to get a kill there, they just take it low. Eagle Empire will land the first frag onto FOD. There goes the mute down and out. No DBNO there. And it'll be a 5 versus 5 early on in the round for Eagle Empire. And surprisingly, all of these rounds, at some point, Eagle Empire's had a man advantage. But every round so far, they have lost. Which is
Rush
kind of
doubles down
unfortunate.
on it, though. Rush is going to double down, taking out Jinky. Not a good start for Project 100 at all. Nerds having to play off back here, off of the bomb site. With these long angles. Pete as well. Such a tricky position for this defensive side now. They're down 2 players. Vitals turn head on a swivel. Zeri tries to jump up, but it's not going to be enough. Dob, however, in the meantime, does get downed over by Cash. Now, this A site over towards Office. Very much going to be in the control of the attackers, unless Pete can get something done here. Nat going down, however, Diffuser being killed in the meantime. What is that from Pete? Rush now is the only player left standing as Vitals gets taken down by Nerd on the swing. Project 100 yet again bring themselves back from the brink, and Eagle Empire falling apart yet again.
35 seconds to go, and Rash does not have the diffuser, and it's in a very hard to reach spot, and it'll be a Frost
Unreal.
trap to get the kill. And once again, that makes 3 rounds in a row, that Eagle Empire had the advantage. They had everything they needed to do to win that match, and then they fell apart at the end. Pasta, something has got to change now. Something in the second half of the match has to change right now. Because Eagle Empire has had such good start to rounds, like such good early game pressure, such incredible aim at the start of the round, and then they all throw it away. And that's 3 times in a row. And the first time, we thought that P100 was going to fall that round, and they didn't. NerdSync was able to get there on that flank just quick enough. Eagle Empire, second round, that one was absolutely theirs, but a team kill ended it off. And then this last round, they had a 4 versus 2.
I mean, that shot that Pete hit, that's tricky enough with a mouse, right? That's tricky enough playing on PC. To do that shot with a controller is insane, is absolutely ludicrous. And I mean, that's Project 100 for you. These guys can frag.
And it was an incredible round from Eagle
The
Empire
MR
up
as well.
until quick Pete went into Super Saiyan mode. 3-0 now for Project 100. And if Eagle Empire can start a round good again, this might be theirs. Because they started all of their rounds pretty solidly. They have not had a round where they have just gotten completely blown out. Project 100 has been the worst team up until the end game, but the end game is where they absolutely flourish.
Yeah, and this time it's not going to pan out well. Solar's going down. Rush does find a trade, and Vitals is just in the bomb site. Sprinting in, can't get anything from it though. Pete with a triple! Somehow continuing his run of form inside of this map. And yeah, he's fully activated now. 2 versus 4, but this time Eagle Empire on the negative end of that. Now Zeri left in the clutch. Quick Pete could find the ace, but no, Nerd takes it away from him. 4 rounds to 0, Project 100 continuing to extend their lead, continuing to just be such an oppressive force and continuing to stuff Eagle Empire just so far in the mud that they've actually just come out the other side of the planet. It's daylight again.
Do you know what's the most impressive thing about Quick Pick Pete's game? Not only is he landing these incredible shots, like these shots are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Quick Peek Pete is playing out of their mind. What's even more crazy, they're doing this on console. And what's even better, he's using a C1. It's not like he's using the 416 or the AUG on Wamai. The 9mm C1 on Frost, and he's 9-1.
Well, it was the DMR as well last round. Like that, hitting a flick with a DMR is, forgive me for swearing, fucking insane, right? I feel like this is justified because that's ludicrous. It's mental. Pete is playing a blinder right now. Project 100 have to thank their lucky stars, and Nerd as well, 6-1. Such a force to be reckoned with, these two players. It's insane.
I feel like the comparison can absolutely be made, but Quick Peek Pete has been playing on a level that I don't know if we have seen here at ESA Cup, at least in a long, long time. Quick Peek Pete is putting on an absolute clinic with two of the not as good guns as well, the C1 and the Mach 14. Not saying that the Mach 14 is bad, but on defense, I would rather have like a submachine gun.
Yeah, well, it's not bad, but it's very difficult to hit flicks with it.
Exactly.
Well, Dog's going to get taken down. Not quite as successful. 0-4 for him, unfortunately. Fod as well, going to be in a tricky situation. Doesn't want to get caught out from the window this time, throwing the C4, as happened in a previous round. So just sticking close for now. Pete, again, 10 kills already. Taken down solos. If he died now, he would have, what's that, 2 KPR. And Fod going to get aggressive up here. Injures Zeri, but rushes there for the trade. In the meantime, Jinky finds a kill. 3 versus 3. We're all tied up yet again. But look who's still alive. Pete and Nerd. Such a difficult task for Eagle Empire to try and take these two down.
The 1-2 combo for P100 is still there, and Eagle Empire has got to find a way to beat these two, which is absolutely insane. It's so hard to do, because Quick Peek Pete has been popping off like crazy. Nerd Sync has been right behind Quick Peek Pete, the right-hand man, I would call him. And Eagle Empire has been struggling to get anything going. The Monty is down, and the Ayana is down. A lot of your entry frag potential has been taken away. And I feel like the only way you're going to be able to get past these two players is if you're able to catch one on the entry frag. But the entry frag has been significantly weakened. There's no more flashes. Sure, you can Finka rush in. You might be able to throw a drone in and get the intel. You can have all the intel you want. Everybody has a drone. Actually, no way. Ace?
They don't have drones.
Nobody has drones, actually. Never mind.
Oh, no!
I take that back. You can't even get the intel. You have to rely on gunplay alone with 30 seconds to go, and the 2 top players of P100 are still alive with full HP.
Nerd finds one back, and Jinky as well. Suddenly, Nat left now again in a 1 versus 2. Oh, okay. We don't talk about that one, but, you know, especially after hitting such a nice shot, Nat still trying to find these last few players' head on a swivel. Doesn't know where to look, where to turn. And in the end, the only turning is going to be him being turned into a corpse by Nerd, shutting it down in the end round.
Give it the P10 Roni once again. It's round 6, and it's 5-1 scoreline for P100. And you can nitpick and say that, oh, it's a defender-sided round, but P100 has been an insane team. Or defender-sided map, excuse me. Which, like, I get it. The theme park is a pretty defender-sided map, but you don't get to 5-0 without being a lot better than your opponent, at least on defense. right now P100 running circles around Eagle Empire.
Yeah.
And the problem is most of Eagle Empire's problems is not because they're getting outgunned or outshot. It's self-sabotage. Set up for one last defensive round. P100 looking for a flawless half to start us off on defense. Project 100 has been absolutely perfect. Eagle Empire's had a couple of rounds where they've gotten pretty close. Spawn Peak Nerd Sync does a little bit over half, or a little bit under half damage for Nate Dix. Not able to get the frag though. Would have liked to get the frag, I'm sure, but Nadix gives to fight another day. And maybe that'll just be the fire that Eagle Empire need to win this round off. Nobody likes getting spawn peaked. But I would honestly say that living after spawn peak makes you even madder because you couldn't even finish it off.
Yeah. Nerd, though, does get a trade after Fod. Taken down probably a little bit too easily in that window is a response. 4 versus 4 then now in this round. Montaigne continuing to apply pressure. Dob aware of the position of that player by the window, and despite being on 0 kills and 4 deaths, does have 5 assists. So, you know, still finding at least some sort of impact. And there's a lovely kill, taking down Rush, the only player that's really having a significant impact for the side of Eagle Empire. Everyone else isn't really contributing. Has about the same amount of kills combined as a team as Rush does. So, yeah, not ideal for him to be taken down this early on in the round. 100 seconds left as Vitals is coming in. And yeah, that's now Natix killed as well. Jinky, it's just not working out. Solas can't even get the 180. Pete's still pretty good at the game. And it's a 6-0 half. It's just over. This is...
Why did Mati unshield? Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? I'm not sure, honestly. I really have no idea. Is this just a sign of forfeit for Eagle Empire? Like, I get it's 6-0, but I mean, comebacks can still happen.
Yeah.
Like, you're on theme park defense. P100 won 6 rounds in a row. You could do the same.
They've got a clash.
They have a clash.
What is this
That's
composition?
Like, they have a clash
storm?
and a Solix, and a Solus. Like, out of all of the rounds that you have a chance to win, this is the one. You have
Armory Throne as well.
You have like the most overpowered shield player and Solus on your team.
I just look at 12-2 for Pete, 9-1 for Nerd. Like,
it's kind of unreal.
Yeah, because you look at the other side. Rush has 7 kills. The rest of Eagle Empire also have 7 kills combined. Pete nearly has the same number of kills as Eagle Empire as a whole.
Yeah.
Pete and Fod combined have more kills than Eagle Empire as a whole, and Fod only has 3 kills. Which in 6 rounds is half a kill a round, and Pete's still going. Pete is still going with an opening pick, taking down Zeri. 13 frags to his name.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Eagle Empire just looking lost. I don't quite know how else to put it. They don't have a clue how to deal with this aggression from Project 100. They don't have a clue how to deal with this gun skill from Project 100. They just have no idea how to take down this opponent. And yeah, even in one singular round, Solus does get a kill onto Dob, making it 4 versus 4. That's at least some sort of positive, I guess, but this looks like an unclimbable mountain. As I say that, Solus has actually found a second here.
3 versus 4. Eagle Empire. Now, they have the advantage, but I don't want to
How
get
many times
too...
have we said that before?
I don't want exactly. I don't want to get too confident because the last couple of times Eagle Empire has got it, they kind of just throw it away. So I'm not getting too confident in them. They have it at one-man advantage. This round is going to be a little bit harder for P100 considering that Clash is still
Yeah.
alive, but I'm absolutely not going to doubt P100
Yeah.
because
there
Nerd
you go.
Sync holds in perfect angle somehow, some way every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be now 3 versus 3 yet again. Pete still on 13 kills. Looking for more though, pushing round towards this dragon side. 35 seconds left on the clock. So the timer continues to tick down. The defense are going to look even better in their situation. Still have the Clash as well. But in terms of guns up, it's technically a 3 versus 2. Clash obviously is useful in other ways, not the gun. It depends how you use it, and actually, Nerds just run straight in, completely bypass the Clash. Rush does find one for being taken down by Jinky. Natix, now the only player left alive, SPSMG, is a tricky beast to control. With 7 seconds left, however, the plant is going down. The cover's there, it's watched, and it's over before it even began, pretty much. We have just witnessed an absolute slaughter. Flawless victory, 7-0. How many advantages did they give away? How many rounds looked like Eagle Empire could have won them? And it just did not go their way. We were delayed because of that first game and some few issues and everything by half an hour. We are now back on schedule.
Yeah,
we are now back on schedule.
Back on schedule due to a 7-0 P100, showing why they were the best team in the group stage, and now they are back in the Swiss stage. They get themselves back up to the mid part of the stage, back to 1-1, and they are looking really good. It was a slow start against Tracker Clan, losing 4-7, but after a 7-0 sweep against Eagle Empire, they are right back in the thick of it.
Yeah. Project 100 now going up to that 1-1, where we see a lot of familiar faces actually heading in towards that sort of next phase of things. On 1-1 so far, P100, MVG, who we obviously just saw, Team Pulse, Tracker Clan, Team Cook. So many faces that should be familiar to us. And that list is only going to expand. Obviously, we could still have any of Odessa, Arsh, E-Wave, Legacy, Empire, and Kanji still in that situation, still looking to get underway in terms of that. But we're not going to waste any more of your time. We're going to head to another quick break. When we come back, it's our third and final game of the evening, which is going to be Kanji versus Odessa. One of these teams is going to have to play a best of 3 next week to stay alive. Otherwise, they are going home. For the other one, it will be in that mid 1-1 score. That's all coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. For the final time tonight, you get to see our beautiful faces in front of this desk. Still Pastor, still joined by Starcoin Hero. And, well, Kanji versus Odessa, right there.
Right here.
Right there. And I'm here as well. I'm here.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Okay. I'm right here. Kanji versus Odessa. I feel like I'm going insane, but here we are. Max OT followed by a 7-0 tonight. So 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. Could this be, the 7-4 middle of the pack? Is that what we're going with?
Very possible. This one, I'm hoping for a pretty solid game. These are the I believe this is more of like a middle of the run match, kind of like. Hold on, where is it? I'm looking for it. Okay, so Odessa Esport actually lost 0-7 in their first match in the Swiss stage. Kanji, of course, they
Yikes.
lost their match, but it was a lot closer. They went up against Team Pulse, where they lost 7-8. So there might be a little bit of a difference between the skill level of these two teams. Maybe just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Just a smidge. Obviously, it depends what teams they came up against as well. MDF and Pulse had some different runs through the group stages. But looking at Kanji now, then their best map is Chalet, worst map Clubhouse, 60% win rate. So, and again, most band ops, we've seen this sort of constant theme. Nox Solus, pretty common throughout the night.
Yeah, and this here is, in fact, Kanji Esports' best map, of course, Chalet. And Pasta, where are we going? What map are we on?
Well, let's have a look. Let's get the map ban up. I'm hoping. Here we go. And it is Chalet. It is Chalet. So that's good. That's what we love to see. It's what you love to see if you're a Kanji fan, at least. Let's have a look at Odessa now. See where they stack up. So Odessa chose to go to Chalet, but they have had a bit of a different sort of run. 20% win rate, squeaking by into the playoffs. It's fair to say, and Ying Solus again, pretty common for this French squad. But yeah, very different path to get here. Odessa, and again, that 7-0 compared to the 8-7. I would put my money on Kanji here, personally.
I feel like that is the prediction that's going to be also the community prediction. Yeah, Kanji, 73-27. And I feel like it's a safe prediction. Kanji, of course, they lost their first game, but they lost to a very good team that they took to overtime, max OT even.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Odessa, of course, they went up against MDF. They did not have a good time. MDF is one of the best teams here in the ESA Cup.
Yeah.
But still, 7-0, that's not very good. Team Pulse,
no,
they went up against MDF. They lost 1-7, but that was on Oregon.
Yeah. So, on Chalet now then, Kanji's best map. Kanji had a much closer time in their game, 8-7 compared to that 7-0. Odessa, 20% win rate compared to Kanji's, I think it was 60. The odds are stacked against them. I think it's fair to say Odessa probably not favored. I think it could be a close game. It might even be as close as that first game happened, because it was a kind of a similar thing. Penta are a lot stronger. They had the higher stats, but we had some statistical advantages that we could possibly give to Odessa. Ended up being that 8-7. Sorry, could have given to MVG. Ended up being that 8-7. It might be a similar story here between Kanji and Odessa.
That is very possible. I got a feeling that it's going to be one of those not too close, but not also blowout games.
Yeah,
we've seen one that went all the way to max OT. We saw a complete sweep. I think we're probably going to see like maybe a 7-3, 7-4, maybe even a 7-5, taking it all the way to round 12. But I don't think we're seeing overtime, but I also don't think we're seeing a complete domination. I'm going to predict Kanji 7-3.
I would say a 7-4, but yeah, I think Kanji are going to be taking the win there. And yeah, again, community agree with us. And yeah, let's have a look at the just a bit of a peek at the starting sides as we're going to head over to the beautiful French Alps and find a little house on the hill, or mountain to be precise. In Chalet, operator ban phase starts in Kanji. So they start on the attack, and they start on attack in overtime as well.
I definitely think that's going to help them here on Chalet. It's such a big map, and there's a lot of little hidey holes for the lurkers to play with for Kanji. which
Yeah.
I got a feeling there's going to be a knock ban because knock on Chalet is not the best thing to deal with if you are a defender, because once again, there you have to have a lot of surveillance, and what's the only operator that negates all surveillance? That's knock. So
Yeah.
a knock's not being banned. Hold on a second. That's pretty surprising. I think that means both of these teams want to play knock.
Yeah, that's what that screams to me. Knock, obviously, the most banned attacker. Flores has been banned. This is the 14th time, and Aces is actually the 4th time in the season that he's been taken off the board. This time it will be Mozzie. Popular choice to ban away just because of how the fraggers use him. But yeah, and let's look at the statistics here for Chalet. Exactly 50-50. I'm not even joking. 82 rounds, 41 won by attack, 41 rounds won in the defense. That's obviously just here in ESA Cup Season 6. And Beer is going to get taken off the board as well. So there's usual need to put my teeth back in. The usual suspects are not going to be taken off the board. You know, that Solis, Azami, even the Fenrir. All of them escape through, and we're going to see Solis being picked straight away by Krent.
Yeah, no surprise there with the Solus pick. I mean, on a map like Chalet, when Solus is on the table,
Yeah.
you just gotta play.
Every time.
Chalet is way too big of a map to just let all of those electronics go by, because there's so many places where drones can just hide away. You have got to get rid of those. And also, I believe it also affects phones out, like if you are droning. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, it will spot you if you have your phone out.
Yeah, it not only affects the drones, it doesn't also catch the drones, but it also catches your phone if you are on the drones. It's kind of like the Dokkaebi plus IQ combo, which doesn't get used as much as I personally think it should. A lot of people say that it's a gimmick pick, it's a gimmick strategy, but I like it.
Yeah. It's pretty good, to say the least. Obviously, getting into things here inside of this round, there's going to be a pretty quick entry downstairs from Kanji. Hidex already inside of Bar, catches that rotation down through Snowmobile as well, which is going to be very important to actually get across and have some information and actually sneak in towards the bomb site, finding the opening pick as well. Ryoji is taken down. Yeah, just get rid of the music. It's a distraction. But Krent here on the Solus might possibly have been spotted out. Knows that the drone went past him, but finds a pre-fire. Finds one, not the second. That's going to be Likey's taking him down in the trade. Now 4 versus 3 yet again for Kanji. They're in a good spot here, but time continuing to tick down. Now they're focusing their efforts on this top floor, gaining that vertical control.
90 seconds to go. The castle barricades are still up, but Kanji is closing in on it. And with how much space has been taken up, actually forcing IBAN Odessa to call back. That's kind of ironic. Looks like from here, IBAN Odessa. Either way, forcing IBAN to fall back. And overall, it's not a good look so far for Odessa. Have to play a lot off-site. There's the Wamai that's trying to hold on for dear life to the kitchen, but they're just about to be overrun. Got a feeling they're going to be pushed off as well. Kanji, of course, they're still a man up, and they're pushing from all angles. There's a couple players up top. There's one down below. I think there's like 3 down below pushing in through main lounge, trying to get into dining room and kitchen to get that bomb down, with mainly just Brack up on top playing vertical to deny Ivan's escape.
Yeah, absolutely. QB and Xerox find one apiece. QB's actually found a second, but he doesn't know the position of Lakey's, who finds that kill, runs into the site now. Xerox upstairs is finding that rotation. Default cam in West Main spots it out, but Lakey's knows of the position of Xerox. The yellow pings on the drones come through! Xerox What a kill, and what a shot that was to find the round. Odessa, they claim round number 1 here, Tucker.
Round 1 in a stolen round. An amazing 3K.
Wow.
To put it back to a 1 versus 1. And the defense will diffuse that diffuser, the anti-diffuse, I guess. Disable the diffuser, I should say. 0-1 now. Kanji put a lot of hype going into them, and they dropped the first round. They had it going really well, and then it all fell apart as just too good a play from Kilby.
Wow, there's some things that you just can't really control, is there? That's unfortunate to say the least for Kanji, but yeah, well played by Xerox, and especially QB, like you said. But yeah, that's got a sting for Kanji. Hopefully this time they can steal themselves, because for a team that we expected to win, those aren't the rounds that you should be losing if you want to be getting points on the board, getting the dubs in these games.
Got round 2 going downstairs to the other side. I believe it's Bar Games for the second round. Let's see if Odessa can hold this one down a little bit better, as despite winning that first oh no, console
no.
things. Oh,
No.
just console things. No! No!
Thing is, you say just console things, that's me in PC ranks. So.
Just console things. It's unfortunate, but sometimes it happens. As I was saying,
yeah,
I'm hoping for Odessa to be able to hold this site down a little bit better, because they did get the win on that last round, but they dropped a lot of players and they were not able to stop the diffuser from going down. It was mainly up to the heroic play from Kibby, who was, I believe, the Wamai last round?
Yeah.
Wamai this round as well, so got some Wamai main action going on. I love Wamai. Wamai is such a good operator.
Yeah, well, my mains represent. Let's go.
Exactly.
We love a good Wamai. Yeah, and the MP5K as well, which is obviously the correct option to be playing rather than the orb. I don't make the rules. It's just better than.
No.
Yes.
Stop lying.
Okay, I feel like we should move on before we actually just get into a heated debate about this, and I don't think the Twitch chat wants to hear that as much as I would love to argue for the MP5K, because I just think it's a very nice weapon. So if QB lets me down now, I will just be really upset. So, we'll see what happens.
I mean, the 1.5 times sight is a big advantage to the AUG A2. I like the shred ability, as it's a slower fire rate, but man, it just hits. It hits so much harder. But I mean, MP5K is also a very good one. It's absolutely my choice on mute. And the MP5K, the one-time scope, making things a little bit easier. Can't land the shot there, and QB will go down. Simply overrun. And Odessa now has a big advantage, make it a 2-man advantage. 1 versus 3, and the diffuser is down. It's up to Brava. What can that Para 307 do, Brava? Doesn't look like too much. The first shot's planned, but we are not done yet. Still alive, still full HP, but there's only 30 seconds to play.
That sounded like the worst flirting ever. What can that Para do? But into the site, Alio doesn't really know where they are, though, taking random swings, random shots through, and they aren't aware of this position behind the bar. It's going to be to the detriment. Xerox shuts it down. Odessa finding 2 rounds here. Kanji haven't looked that secure. They had an advantage in the first round, but then that very quickly got taken away from them by heroics from QB and Xerox, and that time just couldn't get anything done. Iban with a massive play there on Mezzanine. Individual brilliance bringing Odessa across the line, and Kanji just cannot compete with this gun skill that's been on show so far. Why does it rotate on that side? That's cringe. Don't do that.
Tertiary site now of Odessa coming out Which, I mean, it's hard to call master bedroom and office a tertiary site, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when I play, that's that's like my primary or secondary.
Yeah.
I love
Same.
defending on master bedroom and office. I guess Odessa just simply does not. And I guess, of course, this tier 3 console league is a little bit different than my bronze and silver game. So I guess there is that discrepancy. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. We're on master bedroom. Third round, Odessa taking the first two. Kanji has been quite cold, and despite being on Chalet, which is normal, I guess, we need to turn the heater on, guys.
And boy, are they going to be hoping they can get that up to max, because it just hasn't looked like it's clicking so far for Kanji. I don't think that's an unfair statement for them. Krint downstairs in the basement again, and just utilizing this Solus every single round. And why not when it's available for you?
Yeah, it's available. Just do whatever you can with it, with the space that you have. And right now, there's a lot of space that they can work with. So we get back to the Odessa defense. We got Azami using the Kiba knives to their advantage, making a little swing around position off of that jewelry case with the Kiba knife, but it doesn't cover the flank, and they're able to get taken down. A couple of more trades come in. Odessa able to even it back up again. 1 minute, 90 seconds to go, but Kanji is getting closer and closer to master bedroom. Diffuser firmly in hand, and Aljo is clearing out all of the cameras. They're starting to make their way up through mezzanine, but they get downed in the hallway. DBNO though, so they might be able to get this revive, excuse me.
Yeah, it's possible. It does get picked back up. 3 versus 3 still.
The cameras are hacked too. That makes it a little bit harder for Odessa.
Still able for the defense to use the cameras though. It's not like the Brava where they're fully hacked. It's just the attack can use them as well. Defense still have the opportunity to utilize that utility. 45 seconds left on the clock now though, and this is where it starts to get a little bit more dangerous for the attacking side of Kanji, because well, they're going to be forced into higher pressure situations, scrappier gunfights. As the timer goes down, the pressure will build. They're getting the diffuser down. Player downstairs, that will be Lakey's, just covering downstairs. Diffuser now planted. Krint tries to go for this flank, but doesn't actually get the kills. Lakey's looking for it. Alio Meister finds one, and Kanji finally, they find that round that they so sorely needed. Comes on the opponent's tertiary site, but a win's a win. They're finally on the board now. How can they build on this to get this game into a winning situation?
Circle back now to the primary site of Odessa, but let's not forget, this was the map that Kanji almost had in the bag. The site that they almost had in the bag. They had the diffuser down. They had a 4v2 scenario, and then everything fell apart. This goes the way that it went last time. They're just able to hold it down in the in-game a little bit better. Then this should for sure be a round win for Kanji. Odessa now, though, learned how Kanji played this site the first time around, so maybe this will help them. Who knows? There's a lot of different parts you have to make known. There's a bunch of different areas you have to cover on. It could come down to the gunplay again. It might come down to a hero play like it did on the last round, or Kanji might just be able to run right through it. You know, there's so many little nuances that you have to watch out for.
Yeah. It hangs in the balance, doesn't it? I feel like while it isn't necessarily a must-win round, in terms of like winning in regulation, because I don't know what Kanji's defenses will be like, this feels kind of must-win. If they want to win comfortably, Kanji have to win this round, get it up to 2-2. Because being down 3-1 is going to be such a massive deficit heading into that second half if you want to be comfortable in victory, get that sort of 7-3, maybe even 7-4. Unless you can play an absolute blinder on your defenses, being down 3-1 is just not going to allow you to do that. That's a good
Kanji's able
start.
to get the first frag onto Kryn. So your Solus is down, and I gotta say that's worst case scenario as to who to lose first. Not the best start from Odessa. Not too much damage done either. Aliomeister only losing about 40% of it, and now they have complete control over the main lounge. And Kanji has so much time to work with as well. Gold placing the thermite charge, exothermic, go boom, and the hole is opened up with 100 seconds to play. Odessa has been in this round for only a little bit, and they have already nearly lost it.
What a shot that is from Xerox, though. Taking down Braxy into a 4 versus 4 yet again. Feels like Kanji, they've just stalled out a little bit here in the mid round. So we head into the final minute. Still just waiting on the side of this breach. Finally, those smoke grenades come in to provide a little bit of cover, allow a little bit more entrance towards the bomb site. There's Gold going to be sneaking through. Alio second in the round. Taking down QB. It's still vertical pressure. And actually, Lakey's able to find both of them. Xerox, last player alive. And Hydex shuts him down. Kanji, they have tied it up now. 2 rounds apiece.
I mean, when you get the main wall open within the first 45 seconds, you can pretty much call it GR right then. Kanji can take all the time that they need to make sure that push is as perfect as they can get it. And Odessa, there's simply no way to defend against it. Once they got that wall open, it was a 4v4. It was just frag after frag after frag for Kanji, and that was all she wrote. 2-2 now, as now Odessa has to go to the secondary site, and it looks like they're going to. They don't technically have to, but after a performance like that on your primary, I think it's time to switch it up a little bit, and that's what they're doing. We're going back to bar, we're going back to games, and we're seeing a very similar composition, but I don't think it is mirrored of the last time we went here. I don't think there was a Frost last time on bar and games.
I mean, Xerox has been
No,
playing
I don't think there was an
Frost
Azami.
a lot. No, there was, because Ebon was playing Azami on the 3K. I think it might...
Yeah, you're right. I think it was Frost.
I mean, Xerox has been playing a lot of Frost for sure, but I don't know exactly. I probably should have been a little bit more keyed into the what the exact defensive composition is. However, like you mentioned, very, very similar. Still have Krint on the Solus. Xerox has been on a lot of Frost. Azami sticking over. QB on the Wamai again. Only one I'm not sure about is a Jaeger, honestly, but it seems pretty likely just to defend that top blue that they had that first time around as well. Especially considering that they won it, it's not necessarily something that you would win on this site without having that Jaeger and Wamai both defending that top blue position, just because of how secure that place does need to be for your defending side. Is if you lose top blue, then you pretty much lose library, and if you lose library, you lose control of pretty much the entirety of gaming, and plants can go down so easily, covered by the window. It's almost impossible to win from that position.
This setup from Odessa on the stairs, not letting a Hydex get past at all. You're gonna have to go around to the solar stairs because you're not getting down blue. It is as simple as that. You are not going to get past there. You're gonna have to figure out what to do next. Oh, this is going to be a massive blind fest. So many flashbangs being thrown. That counts 4 on the same exact angle. And I mean, it's funny but just go the other way. You just wasted almost all of the flashbangs your team has on one angle when there is a complete other set of stairs on the other side of the map.
Well, you burn the ADSs. Hopefully you can get the nades through, destroy a shield, exactly what happened, which is good. That's the plan. Now this top blue is very easy to control. Hydex is already over here. You had the player downed and killed Iban mezzanine in towards library. And suddenly top floor control fully inside or in the hands of Kanji. Exactly the game plan, exactly what they wanted to execute. But oh, Krint has snuck past the claymores here. And able to avoid the other one. The air jab might prove a little bit more difficult. And it will go off. Provide that sound cue. But I don't know if anyone's actually over here to watch it. Another air jab. Get that one off as well. Yeah, that one's definitely been heard. You saw the outline there up at the top just completely flick over. They know that someone's around here now. Krint dipping back down into the basement. 20 seconds left though. Kanji are just kind of idle. They're nowhere to be seen. They need to actually hurry up because okay, they get a drop. That's Alio finding one, but Xerox in the site is able to get one. Somehow they're still able to find the kill, still able to get the frags. Krint, last one alive, finds one. Still 3 left and not going to do it. Kanji, they've got to lead back 3 rounds to 2 now and 3 rounds in a row. Somehow they brought it back.
Definitely
that round.
Definitely a nail biter from Kanji, but they were able to get it going. They've now won 3 in a row with a chance to go up 4-2, which is a pretty good half. Excuse me. On Chalet, that's about expected. Odessa, of course, kind of treading on owed time, considering that Kanji did allow them to get the first round, playing a little bit sloppy there in the end game. So Odessa, kind of, like I said, living on borrowed time is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So Kanji had a slow start, but now they're here. They are starting to flow. That last round took way too long to really get into the swing of things, but they got there in the end. And that is what I did not see get placed down in the last round. I was wondering why they were dumping all of the flashes there. It was to get rid of the ADSs.
Yeah.
I did not see the ADSs.
Yeah, under 1 minus. Nice.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. 6 flashbangs should hopefully be enough for that.
Maybe. Just keep throwing them. Keep throwing them. Throw every bit of utility your team has.
Yeah. Because, it's such an important position and, that's what we said. It's such an important position and they're able to get a hold of it. But this time Odessa actually have something to say. It's opening pick from Krint, taking out the Yana of Laikis, who's had some pretty good rounds so far. Pretty consistent as well. 6 and 3. Averaging 1 kill a round, which is a pretty good KPR overall. Hope they can, for their sake, keep that consistency, because a 1 KPR throughout an entire game is a very impressive scoreline to have. Doesn't often get seen, so that's quite good. Iban, you keep